I'm going to show you guys a new concept, and this is a powerful way of just kind of being able to really make a sense of the difference between linear income versus leveraged income, and this idea of the old way of thinking, of working 40 to 50 years for somebody else. So I'm going to show you a concept. This is going to be a timeline. I want you to just think about this and see if this makes sense for you. It makes sense for me. Not sure if it'll make sense for you or not, but for most people it does. Timeline number one, 0 to 20 years old, you're in the education phase, you're going to school, and you're learning how to contribute to society, to actually go out and hold the job or do something that you can actually provide a value into the workforce. At 20 years old, or right around thereabouts, if you're college educated, be a little bit further than that, you're going to step into the workforce. And we've all agreed that we're going to work for about 40 to 50 years for someone else. And at around age 72, for those of you that are under the age of 39, Social Security won't kick in for you until age 72, and more likely than not, you won't even have Social Security. Assuming that you do, 72 years old seems to be the benchmark where people start to think about retiring. Today's average life expectancy in America is 78 years old. That means you have a window of 6 years where you get the ability to live your life. And when I say live your life, you're making money coming in, whether you're working or not, and you have freedom and choice to do whatever you want with whomever you want. You can live where you want. That's true freedom. And people are willing to work for 40 to 50 years to get that. Now, how does that timeline look? Pretty positive, pretty exciting, pretty motivating, excited to step out of this and go into the working environment? Well, when you put it that way, it's kind of a little bit depressing. So I'm going to show you a different way of thinking. For things to change, you have to change. For things to get better, you have to get better. Here's a new concept, a better concept. 0 to 20, you're in that educating phase. And then you step into the power of entrepreneurship, owning your own business. And when you step into the power of entrepreneurship, you're going to hustle for 2 to 5 years. Work crazy. Be willing to do what others won't so you can enjoy what others can. I'll repeat that. Do what others won't do so you can enjoy what others can't have. Right here, hustle for 2 to 5 years. And if you do this right, and we hustle for 2 to 5 years, you literally have the ability to live the rest of your life. Because in this type of hustling, you're creating an asset that pays you every single month, whether you work or not. That means you literally gain freedom, potentially in your 20s, to where that check will come up whether you work or not. That's the value and idea behind this. So between the two lines, which one would you choose? Not a hard answer. Most people would agree that this one here looks a lot better. I'm going to explain to you how this works. The difference between linear income versus leveraged income. Linear income is you're trading time for money. And when you're trading that time for money, most people are familiar with hourly wages, or you're salaried, but you have to work, or commissioned. You go out and perform, you get paid, and you're only as good until the next sell. Most people are familiar with that. This is 100% you. 100% you. Now, in this linear model, you work 40 hours a week is pretty standard and pretty normal. If you get a couple of weeks off of annual leave from your company, you will work 50 weeks in a course of a year. If you did that for 40 years, you would create, or you would put out 90,000 hours over a course of a lifetime to create your lifestyle. Now that is all most people know. Leveraged income operates different. In this concept, we are going to identify people who agree that line number 2 looks better than line number 1. And we start to assemble a team of people who want something different. And just like things that go viral, would you agree that new concepts can go viral? We've seen it over and over and over again. We start to duplicate and create an organization, a movement, a team that recognizes that this system is better than that system. Through this process of organizing a team, everybody on the team agrees to work 4.5 hours. I'll repeat that. Everyone agrees to work 4.5 hours. This is an example. And that's per week. Rather than working 40 hours a week, you're working 4.5. But in this type of a model, if everyone on this team agrees to do that, that'd be 20,000 team members working 4.5 hours would create 90,000 hours a week in productivity. That's 90,000 hours per week. So would you rather have 90,000 hours of productivity per week, or 90,000 hours of time exchanged by you over a lifetime? Now the reason why this is so powerful is because, remember, this is 100% you. Over on leverage, it's 1% of 100 people's effort. It's everybody working together. Companies are willing to pay out royalty commissions to people who assemble distribution teams where products can move freely. Now watch how this example works. If there is a company that has, if all these team members agreed, that's 20,000 team members, to have a minimum of $100 a month in products sold through their distribution business. That's 20,000 people with $100 a month sold through their distribution business. That would be $2 million in the course of a month of products that are being sold through that entire distribution team. The company agrees to pay a 5% royalty to you for this entire distribution team. So if the company paid you a 5% royalty on that $2 million, that would pay you $100,000 per month in residual income. So again, it's the value of assembling a team. Now that looks like pretty high numbers, and it is. But the benefit of this is now you're not dictated or controlled for anything. The benefit of creating that kind of income and that kind of wealth is it gives you the ability to have time. It gives you the ability to eliminate the need to worry about money. You don't have to worry about what kind of a house you have, what kind of a car you drive, where you live. All that is not at the control. Like over here, it's controlled. It's limited. It's limited. Whatever company you work for, they tell you what your value is. That's a completely different concept over here. This model over here, they tell you when you show up for work. And you tend to carve out a little bit of time for yourself on the weekends. That's why the heart attack rate goes up on Monday morning, because people are going to work. And that's also the reason why we have a higher increase statistically of car accidents on the interstate systems on Friday afternoon. It's because people want to get to the weekend to enjoy their freedom. They have that little moment of time of freedom. So this over here is more of a controlled environment. I call this slavery. You don't get to pick and choose. But over here you have that, what I call freedom, complete true independence. Monday morning looks no different than a Saturday morning when you live over here. So we call it 6 Saturdays and 1 Sunday a week. That's the concept. So that's the idea, the difference between concept 1, linear, concept 2 is leveraged. If this has value to you, we want to share and talk to you about how we assemble this team. That would be the next conversation. Thanks for jumping on.